Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In this video, I want to share another in-depth candle review, and the scent we're going to be discussing is HomeWorx Key Lime Cake. Full disclosure before I get into the review here, I did receive this candle in PR from Rakuten & Co. I actually was not expecting it. It just showed up on my doorstep, so that was a pleasant surprise. This is actually not a new fragrance from HomeWorx. This was released, I believe, once prior. I didn't try it when it was originally released, but I heard a lot of people give it really high praise. So once I realized what was in the box, I kind of got a little bit excited. I could not wait to stick my nose into this candle. And as soon as I opened the box, I was hit with this really delicious, limey gourmand fragrance. So I immediately understood what the hype was about this one when it first came out. This is delicious, and I really do think that Harry still very much excels in the gourmand candle category. And when he gets that like baked cake or, pie or muffin or crumble type note, when he gets those notes right, he really gets them right. And that's the case with this one. So I'm really excited to share my review of this one, and a big thanks to Rakuten & Co. for providing this one. It is launching this Friday, June 6th, as a part of the Golden Hour collection. So I will be linking it at the top of the description box here. I'll also put my discount code. It's just Melanie P. That is an affiliate discount code, just so you are aware of that. But that will save you 15% off of your purchase of $40 or more. So that information will be at the top of the description box for you. I am not aware of whether this is going to launch at QVC in a set of 2 potentially. It could very well do that, but we have not been told details about that. I just know that it's going to be a part of the Golden Hour collection that is launching on the HomeWorx website. So anyway, let's go ahead and dig into this one. I'm pretty picky about lime, so I definitely have a lot to say about the lime note here. So we're gonna go ahead and start first with the fragrance notes. I will tell you what I smell. We'll then move on to the overall strength and throw, and then of course address any burn issues that have popped up. I have now burned this candle at least 5 or 6 burns, and each burn has been roughly somewhere between 2.5 to 3 hours. I have definitely reached the halfway point at this stage, so I will give you guys the overhead shot at the end as well. So without further ado, let us dig into Key Lime Cake from HomeWorx. The notes for Key Lime Cake read: fluffy white cake, tart key lime, orange zest, and vanilla bean frosting. So what do I actually smell here? Now, I'm gonna get started by talking about the lime, because I am not always a huge fan of lime fragrances. I did have the very original key lime pie from HomeWorx way back in the day when he first launched at QVC in, I believe it was 2017. I can never remember the exact year, but I remember very clearly that one of the first collections that he brought out for the summer candles that year, it included a really great key lime pie, and it was delicious. It was very much key lime. It was a very juicy lime scent. I didn't smell a ton of zest, and that's what I really liked about key lime pie, is that it wasn't overly zesty. When there is lime present in a home fragrance related product, to my nose, if it's too zesty, I just don't like it. I don't know why that is. I do understand that lime can be very fresh, very refreshing, but it just comes off as a lot of times just super acidic to my nose, more so than some of the other zest notes, for example, like an orange zest or a lemon zest. I don't necessarily love those either, but I can tolerate them a lot more than lime. Something about the lime just doesn't jive with me. So I'm looking for a very juicy, sweet, more sweetened lime juice or limeade type of fragrance when it comes to lime candles. And this one is giving me that. Now it is very distinct key lime juice that I'm smelling here. Key limes are just naturally a little bit sweeter and to my nose, not quite as tart as or acidic as regular lime. So it just is a little bit more enjoyable, but I in no way smell the zest of the lime in this fragrance. It is that juicy, sweetened key lime. It's perfectly done. Wouldn't change a thing about the lime here. And it's definitely lime forward. I do, however, smell a little bit of orange in here as well, but it's not orange zest, actually. It smells like just a little squeeze of like an orange juice or like a freshly squeezed, you know, half of an orange or something. Not enough for this to lean orange forward at all, but just enough to where you're like, oh yeah, I can smell it. I mean, I don't know if everybody will, but I can smell it in the background. So loving the citrus portion of this fragrance. It's perfect. Let's talk about this fluffy white cake. What this actually smells like to my nose is like that vanilla funfetti birthday cake type fragrance. I guess you could just say white cake or vanilla cake, but to me, it kind of smells like funfetti birthday cake minus obviously the little sprinkles. It's a really great baked cake note and it is really, really well done here. It's very distinct and honestly, it makes me want to eat cake. I do have some funfetti birthday cake. I have a box of it in our pantry. I'm kind of tempted to actually make it and maybe I'll put some lime juice in it and make myself a key lime cake, although I just have regular limes. I don't know that that would taste the same, but anyway, let's discuss the vanilla bean frosting because to me, I can smell a vanilla bean component, but I wouldn't really say it's frosting. It doesn't smell like buttercream. It's almost like vanilla bean whipped cream. It's not super heavy, but there is kind of a little bit of creaminess here. I don't know. I don't know if like a whipped cream vanilla bean frosting would taste good or go with a key lime cake, but that's what I'm smelling. It's definitely not your regularly highly sweet frosting. This is an interesting fragrance because it's very much a like dessert type fragrance, but it is not overly sweet. It's a little bit more fresh smelling, I think because of specifically the lime in here. But this scent is great. Those of you that fell in love with it the first time that it came out, I see what you were talking about now. It is delicious. Huge fan. Personally, I don't think I would change a thing about this one. I think it's very pleasant and it's nice to have another lime fragrance that I can enjoy. Let's dig into the strength and throw. So this one had a strength of just about a 7. So very noticeable, but not like hyper strong, right? Like when I was burning this, I've kind of been moving it around between the kitchen, our little eating nook area, and then also I have taken it into the family room. That whole area, the back part of our house where the family room, kitchen, eating area, and kitchen is, this filled that entire area back there very easily. That is a good chunk of, you know, the size of the downstairs of our house is consumed by that area there. But I also easily smelled this at the front door. So I would give the throw right around a 7 as well. It wasn't nearly as potent. I don't want to imply that, you know, as I was walking in from taking out the garbage or something that it like smacked me in the face. But I very much smelled the key lime cake, that really yummy gourmand, the second that I would walk in the front door. Even if this was all the way in the back of the kitchen, I could still very easily smell it. So I'm giving it a solid medium performance. Would I like it to be a little bit stronger? Yes. But I feel like at this point, I would probably say that about the vast majority of my HomeWorx candles. The strength and throw has been diminished from when they first launched at QVC. I wish that HomeWorx could get back to where they were in terms of strength and throw, but I don't know. I don't know that we will. But in terms of this having an acceptable performance, I would call this more than acceptable for me. Like I said, I can very distinctly smell it throughout most of the downstairs of the house. I'm not having what I would consider strength and throw issues with this one. There have been candles that I haven't been able to smell. For example, recently the warm, was it warm vanilla coconut? I believe that's what it was called. That one was virtually unscented, and that was such a huge bummer for me because, man, what you can smell of that fragrance is incredible. So hopefully they can go back to the drawing board on that one, but no issues with this one in terms of strength and throw. In terms of the overall burn quality, it's been pretty good. The wicks are not forming huge mushroom tops, and I do definitely trim the wicks between each burn, but I only take off like a little bit on the top. This candle doesn't seem to be burning super hot, so the wicks don't get crazy long. And like I said, no carbon balls are really forming at the top. I do think the wicks definitely lean a little bit, so typically when I extinguish the candle, I always make sure to kind of straighten the wicks out as the wax starts to get to that harder stage so that it kind of is held in place. But they haven't keeled over, like they're not doing that, but they do that thing where they want to lean in just a little bit to each other. So let's take an overhead view here. The wax is a very, very light pale green. I don't even think you're going to be able to tell that it is green. It looks like a white or like a creamy wax color, but it is a very, very pale green. But yeah, so that is what we are looking at. It has not been lit for even a half hour at this point, so you can see I don't have a full wax pool. I'm filming in the dining room here, and I can already smell this throughout the dining room. So it is one of those fragrances from HomeWorx that tends to get going pretty quickly. So definitely good news there. But you can see a little bit of here residue on the side. For whatever reason, that side has trouble pooling out. Not drastic problem there. As you can see, it's just like a little line of wax that's kind of sticking to the side, but it is working its way down as I am burning the candle. No soot, no discoloration, wax still looks clean. Yeah, no burn issues with this. Sorry, I have to work around Alf. Poor little guy. He just had surgery yesterday, actually, and you can't slow him down. Poor thing. Anyway, yeah, this is, listen, this is great scent. I'm glad they brought this back because this is super, super enjoyable. And it's one that in the future, if it sticks around, I'll definitely purchase one myself. It is delightful. So anyway, for what it's worth, it's linked at the top of the description box. Like I said, it is launching as a part of the Golden Hour collection on Friday, June 6th at the Rakuten & Co website. So you have the information. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.